stay in the race here in the Big Ten West. And for Northwestern today, a shot at bowl eligibility. As we welcome you to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, sold out for the 346th game in a row, honoring one of Tom Osborne's national championship teams here today, and excited about a new coach and a new era. What to watch for today? Well, Anthony, how are the Huskers moving forward after those 4 heartbreaking losses?
Well, they're trying to get off the last play of the games and look at bigger picture and try to win the first 3 quarters so they don't put themselves in that situation.
We're also watching the evolution of Tommy Armstrong at quarterback under this new system.
You're right, he's coming off his best game last week against Minnesota, outside the pocket where he's been most dangerous throwing the football.
And for Northwestern, can the Wildcats return to the run game that served them so well when they started out 5-0?
You got to feed the ball to Justin Jackson. He is the key. Get the big uglies pushing off the line of scrimmage and get him involved early in this football game.
Nebraska trying to go back-to-back for the first time this year with a couple of wins off the victory against Minnesota. And for Pat Fitzgerald and Northwestern, a couple of rough losses. They got beat up pretty good by Michigan and Iowa, so they want to try and get back on track. Of course, the former All-America linebacker and Hall of Famer at Northwestern, now in his 10th season. An opportunity to get back to a bowl game for the first time since 2012 if they can pick up the win here to get to 6 on the season. Solomon Vaught and Miles Schuler back deep. Vaught has a kick return touchdown this year, 98-yarder in their win against Duke. And a good return for Vaught. An opportunity with a blocker in front of him as he gets across midfield and shoved out of bounds around the Nebraska 40, but there is a flag down back at the 30-yard line. As it stands right now, a 60-yard return for Vaught.
During the return, holding, return team, number 8. A 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st and 10.
And so that 60-yard return will not stand. It's going to come back. There's a tug on the jersey right there. A good effort by Vaught negated. And Clayton Thorsen and the offense will be out there to start at their own 14-yard line. The redshirt freshman, the first-year starter. And play action on 1st down. Thorsen will keep. And he'll get to the 15, and that's it. Wrapped up there. They really like his steady demeanor and his competitiveness, and he's looking to get a little help from his skill guys today.
Well, they're preaching balance. You can't lean on a redshirt freshman to do everything for you. I thought they were heavy pass last week. They got to get the running game involved, and he needs to use his legs against this Nebraska defense.
And here's a touch for Justin Jackson, a 1,000-yard rusher as a freshman a year ago. Not much going on against a Nebraska run defense that is top 10 in the country, pass defense that is dead last statistically in FBS.
And you look at this team going against Nebraska, this suits them well as far as the defense for a team that's trying to ground and pound.
Well, the crowd will crank it up a bit here on 3rd and 8. Thorsen gets the pass away, and it's incomplete out to the 25-yard line. Vitale unable to hang on. And Northwestern will have to boot it away. They've got a terrific kicking game. Hunter Nicewander. And then one of the top return guys in the country for Nebraska in DeMornay Pearson-L, who is returning from injury and is getting back to full strength.
One thing you tell the punter, don't kick it in the middle of the field against this guy.
High kick, and Pearson-L with the fair catch. Good field position to start out here for the Huskers. Just a 37-yard punt. And that'll bring out Tommy Armstrong and the offense, the junior from Texas. Already top 3 all-time at Nebraska in passing touchdown, passing yardage, total offense.
Been a big transition for this young man. You're talking about new verbiage, a different style offense. They've only put in about 50% of what Oregon State used to do when Mike Riley was there. The biggest thing is they've tried to build around what he does best. He moves around the pocket. he's become a better passer. That's the biggest thing he's done the last couple weeks.
He's throwing more and running less than he did a year ago, and they'll come right out with a designed run for him in the high snap. And Dean Lowry was able to sniff it out, the senior out of Rockford, Illinois. Let's check out the impact players when the Huskers have the football. And Terrell Newby will carry a lot of the load for them in the backfield.
Coming off his best game last week against Minnesota. Westerkamp, folks, this kid catches everything. Anthony Walker will be challenged in the middle for Northwestern, especially when you have a quarterback that moves around like Armstrong.
Newby is offset on second down. Armstrong fires, and the completion to DeMornay Pearsonell, making his second start of the season, coming back from that offseason foot injury.
Yeah, you're right. Getting off to a slow start the last couple of weeks, trying to slowly bring him back into the offense. And we see him being an explosive player in the punt return game. He's becoming that in the wide receiver game also.
Monty Cross now in at I-back. Andy Janovich has been an emerging threat at the fullback spot here on 3rd and short. Cross will follow behind his fullback, and he's got the first down inside the 40. And a 6-yard run.
Old school fullbacks. I love seeing him go up the gut. Watch him right here. ISO one-on-one. Boom! Hit him in the face, knock him back. That's what the tradition's been here in Nebraska. The big uglies, the guys that don't get recognition. Janovich is one of those guys.
He took care of Jalen Prater to clear the space for Cross. Making just his second start. QB run to the left and down to about the 25-yard line. Anthony Walker, their leading tackler, the middle backer, making the stop.
They love Anthony Walker. Got great coverage skills, contact, loves to hit, leads the team in tackles with 54. I think he's going to have his hands full today as one of those guys to watch that has to follow the quarterback throughout this football game.
And Anthony, they were able to stop the run when they started out 5-0, and then Michigan and Iowa ran all over them in their last 2 losses. Certainly on the radar for Armstrong and Newby and company. Armstrong looking deep down the middle and tipped incomplete. Jalen Prater got a hand on it, and it's 3rd and 10.
Again, you see a little bit of him in the pocket there, trying to get to his second read, come across the field. And, you know, those are the things he's trying to improve on as a quarterback. He's not truly going to be that pro-style drop back guy like a Sean Mannion was at Oregon State. They got to kind of build around what they're trying to do. And, you know, Mike Riley really loves working with. He loves that feature of a running quarterback also.
Getting our first look to it, Jordan Westerkamp now, who is in at wide receiver. He's been their leading receiver. He's slotted to the left. 8th play of this drive, looking for a 3rd down conversion. They try and set up the screen to Newby, and it falls incomplete, and it's 4th down.
The best thing Nebraska's defense did, or Northwestern's defense did, was hold them on 1st down. Anytime you make this team push, especially when you get towards the red zone, that's been the biggest thing. And Newby's going to be a guy they're going to try to get the ball in multiple different ways. Screen pass, downhill runs. He's been effective for them for this offense.
So now it's Drew Brown. That September 26th game against Southern Miss. 5 first-half field goals to tie the NCAA record. Here's a 43-yard attempt to put Nebraska on top. And points on their first possession. A 3-0 lead for the Cornhuskers. One of the great environments in all of college football here at Memorial Stadium under first-year head coach Mike Riley. The Huskers grab the early lead. Nebraska honoring their 1995 national championship team here today. Tom Osborne's guys beat 4 top 10 opponents by an average of 31 points per game en route to that 12-0 season, and the blowout in the Fiesta Bowl over the Florida Gators. Tommy Frazier is going to join Paul Carcaterra a little bit later on here in the first quarter to chat. They went back-to-back. Of course, they won it in '94, and then they won it again in '97. In that terrific stretch for the Bill Callahan, Frank Solitz, the other guys that have been here since Osborne left. After that last championship, Solomon Vault is going to bring it out. Had a nice return in the opening kickoff that came back due to a penalty, and he'll get out across the 25 29 yards on the return for Vault. Pat Fitzgerald talked about turning frustration into motivation all week long in practice to get ready for this game. And Thorsen, he's a big guy, not afraid to run with it, and he finds his seam. The cutback inside the 25. Thorsen streaking for the end zone, knocked out around the goal line.
That's how you get your first down yardage up right there, a big run. And we talked about it before the game. He's got to use his legs. Pre-designed pass, look at the big hole. That's the biggest thing. Get off your first read, come back to your second. If it's not there, take off. And he obviously, for a big guy, has good speed down the sidelines. That's the difference. 68-yard run. That's how you spark an offense against a defense that's done well against the run this year.
171 yards total rushing for Thorsen up until that scamper. And now it's first and goal. Thorsen tries to sneak. Shoved to the right, and he reaches across the goal line for the touchdown. 6'4" with a long reach, Anthony, and he found a way to get to the goal line.
Yeah, and he had his backs in the backfield, just driving them in, and they finally get that last-ditch effort from behind. Danny Vitale, number 40. The question is, did he cross the line? You see here, they're driving Danny Vitale. They look like they stopped his charge initially, and then he slides off to the right. The question is, how do they deem that? They're not going to...
Okay to push, you just can't pull.
It isn't. And did he ever stop going forward? The question is, did the referee see that ball on his chest cross the line? He obviously has a better view than us from this angle.
Extra point is good, and Northwestern responds, and they're up 7-3 following the longest run of the season for the Cats. They punch it in. If you're going for a national championship, you're going to be compared to these guys. Tom Osborne's 95 team being celebrated here today. They led the country, scoring 52 points per game. In that memorable 12-0 season, they dominated the best teams in the country against top 10 foes. They outscored them by 31, including that rout of the Gators in Fiesta Bowl. Their All-America quarterback, Tommy Frazier, in the house with a lot of his old mates today. Jordan Stevenson will not get back out to the 10-yard line. Tommy now with Paul Carcaterra.
With a legend, Beth. And Tommy, you have this experience with your teammates 20 years later, walking out of that tunnel, hearing that crowd. What was it like?
It was just like old days. It was back in 95 when we walked out the tunnel for the first time. That year was the first year they did the tunnel walk. And it just brought back the memories of what we started here in the tradition and how the fans still get excited about when they see the 95 team walk out along with this current team walking out.
You beat teams by an average of 38 points. Why was that 95 team so dominant?
Because we're a brotherhood. We're a band of brothers who we truly trust each other. And we had one goal, to go out there and be competitive and to make sure that there was no doubt that once the game was over with, we were the best team that day.
In the national title game, that run against Florida.
You know, that was just another play to me. You know, I tell people all the time that wasn't my favorite play. I don't think they were trying to tackle. I think we wore them down enough to where it made it easy for me. But it's a special play in history. It set the tone and showed people what that team was truly made of.
Tommy, that team, a lot of people say the best ever. What's your response to that?
They're right. We are the best ever. When you look at the stats, you look at the numbers, you know, it's a debatable question, but what we did and the way we did it, I don't think there's another team out there that say they did it that way.
What's the latest with Tommy Frazier?
Just a working guy, a happy family man, and enjoying life.
Thanks for spending time with us.
You're welcome.
Always good to see Tommy Frazier and a lot of his teammates here from that 95. Hard to believe 20 years ago they win the national championship. Still confident as ever. I love it.
By the way, that was no ordinary run against Florida. Not too many players are doing those kind of runs that he made right there. Just one of the all-time great quarterbacks, ahead of his time for sure.
Back to this year's edition of the Huskers, and another Tommy Armstrong on the rollout, and the catch out at the 35-yard line. Jordan Westerkamp has a couple of 100-yard receiving days this year, and congratulations to Jordan. That catch, the 100th of his career, and he's now 21 games in a row with at least one catch.
Again, Van Hoos is in the right spot, the cornerback for Northwestern. He slips, and Westerkamp is not going to drop the ball when you throw it in his area. Good job. We talked about Armstrong outside the right of the pocket. They got to force him and get him to go left to stop those plays.
He loves this rivalry. He had a Hail Mary catch a few years ago to win it here for Nebraska. He's got the ball again, out on the flat to the 40-yard line. Wrapped up by Iguabuke. Boy, we've already seen 2 Huskers down hurt, and now Westerkamp injured after he hit the turf hard.
You see he slams his shoulder down. This would be a huge loss if he can't continue to play. He's really their best receiver. Tommy Armstrong's #1 target for this football team.
He stays on the sideline here on 2nd down. Terrell Newby picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and short. We've talked about the new system. Some new things for Tommy Armstrong to deal with, including the loss of their top 2 playmakers a year ago, Amir Abdul and Kenny Bell. So Westerkamp playing a big role for them this year.
Yeah, and we see him come back on the field now. He's a tough guy. He's a perfect receiver, a polished route runner. When you watch him, he'll really beat you one-on-one when he's lined up with those inside linebackers and strong safeties.
He is slotted to the near side. 4 receivers here on 3rd down. Armstrong looking for the wheel route. Newby catches it out of bounds. Incomplete 4th down. Got behind Jalen Prater.
Big play, and we talked about it. Watch the patience. He lets this play develop. Newby's not initially open. He's got to reset his feet, though. See how his feet are opened up? He doesn't get his front foot ahead of him, and he doesn't make a catchable ball. And right there, it's so close. But if he just gets that ball in front of him in the field of play, it's going to be a huge catch for Terrell Newby.
So the punting unit is out there on 4th and 3. Miles Schuler is the deep man. Sam Foltz, the 3-year starter, back to boot it away. High booming kick back inside the 5, and the fair catch at the 3-yard line by Miles Schuler, who should have let that one go and shot at a touchback. Instead, they will be buried deep after the 55-yard boot. Here in Lincoln, Nebraska, 7-3. Northwestern with the lead. Iowa right now, the top of the standings in the West at 3-0. Overall, still unbeaten, sitting on a bye this week. And they have the win over Northwestern a week ago. And really, Anthony, there's not much wiggle room now for these 2 teams. Got to win out to try and stay in the race. Iowa still has to come here at the end of the season.
You're right. Both teams do or die. Both have 2 losses. A 3rd would be devastating for either program within the West, trying to catch an undefeated Iowa team right now.
Under pressure in the end zone, and down he goes. And the safety for Nebraska as the defense comes through. They got to Clayton Thorsen.
Bringing pressure in from the quarterback, and right there they ran a little inside stunt by their defensive end. Nobody's open in coverage, and that's been a big issue right now with Nebraska. They do a great job, and again, no one slides off to block them. Number 88, DeZuris, does an excellent job of just running an inside stunt and gets the quarterback, and here comes the cavalry. And again, something that Nebraska needed to jump on early on defense. They did a good job, and it all goes back to Miles on that punt return, fair catching it. Schuler, number 5, a senior, on the 4-yard line. That was crucial in that decision, not letting that ball bounce into the end zone.
We've talked about the injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and you know, Mike Riley talks about trying to find positives. Well, one of those is you get a lot of your reserves that get a lot of playing time and an opportunity to be out there, and DeZuris is one of those guys that has been in the mix more, and he comes up with the safety. And It's number 2, Jordan Stevenson, with a flag down as he goes down around the 38-yard line, 17 yards on the return.
I talked to Coach Fitzgerald before the game, and he told me, listen, we pulled the pads off this week in practice, and I like that. They played some physical games. You talked about Iowa last week. It's been huge. Good idea by him to get his guys, their bodies back against a physical game against a team they need to beat today.
Wanted those guys to find out, are we going to be the 5-0 team or the 0-2 team? That's their challenge today in hostile territory, especially when the Huskers are celebrating their '95 national championship team. But the young quarterback, Clayton Thorsen, had a huge play. Nebraska bringing it defensively as well. 7-5, Northwestern with the lead over Nebraska. You're watching college football presented by 5 Hour Energy. Just 1 first down in the first quarter for the Wildcats, but they took advantage of it to score. And now Armstrong with Newby in the backfield. And Tommy Armstrong starting out 8 for 14 on the day, Anthony.
We talked about his feet, and it's not just sitting in the pocket and stepping forward. It's also when the pocket breaks down, getting yourself adjusted so you have an open path. Right there, throws flat-footed, and that last pass in the series before, again, throws with his body square and open. He just slides to his right, gives himself a better opportunity to make that pass down the field.
They'll go to Newby out of the backfield. Westerkamp with a nice block, and they've got the first down to the 35. Stanley Morgan was also out there doing his job on the edge.
Accountable receiver, does everything right. Coach's dream, really, when he's on the football field. Catches the ball, blocks, can break the big one. Just one of those players that Nebraska just is about the tradition. He's one of those guys that fits the bill.
He'll go slot left this time. Walker blitzing up the middle, and the pass incomplete. Broken up by Igwebuike, intended for Westerkamp. 2nd and 10. Armstrong goes under center. Newby. The right side down inside the 30, and that'll set him up again. 3rd and short. Deontay Gibson with the stop.
Downhill, inside running. Got to mix it up. That's what Nebraska's known for. Their big linemen over the years, getting that push up front. Right now, it's a huge play when you're long distance and 2nd down. Deciding to go to run, get those big chunks, put you in a favorable position. Armstrong's got to be accurate on this play here.
2 of 7 on 3rd down against one of the best 3rd down Ds in the country. Armstrong didn't have his feet right, and it's intercepted. And a lot of green grass in front unless Tommy can get there to make the play. And Nick Van Hoos with a pick 6. 72 yards. Armstrong unsettled, and Van Hoos makes a nice play and takes it the other way. And now both defensive units today have put some points on the board, but more importantly for Northwestern, a touchdown for them. Jack Mitchell with the PAT. Nick Van Hoos. Pick 6, and it's 14-5 Wildcats. The story is Clayton Thorsen with a 68-yard run. Good for their only first down of the day, and then in their other 16 plays, they are -1 yards. But that run set up a touchdown, and now their defense scores for them.
They're falling right into the trap. This is what Northwestern wants. They love these kind of games. This is like a Pat Fitzgerald special here. Kind of an ugly game. They got the lead, and Nebraska's trying to find themselves. Nebraska, Thorsen and this team for Northwestern likes their situation right now.
This one's 3rd and 9. Pressure coming off his back foot again, and this time he makes the connection for the first down to Brandon Riley.
And I wouldn't suggest throwing off your back foot. Again, he's got the pressure. Great route by the wide receiver, getting the separation from the defensive back, Brandon Riley. But watch the quarterback now. As he's rolling out, we saw the same thing before. Gets that pressure and just kind of chucks it. Very lucky in ball placement there, but that could have been disastrous again for the quarterback.
Going through some growing pains, or as Mike Riley described it to us yesterday, it's been a roller coaster for this offense, learning a new system under their first-year head coach. The offense, which was so spectacular during his tenure at Oregon State. Oregon with the grab out around the 45. 6-yard pickup.
You see the arm strength for him coming across the field. And, Mike Riley talked about, he brings so many great attributes to the game. Obviously, he's a runner. They just want to build him as a passer, and they've only been able to really transfer both of their offensive to what they really want to do on offense. But they feel like right now, the biggest thing from the quarterback position is feet and making quicker decisions.
They thought he was better at it last week. Build upon it, and they will run it here on second down. Newby maybe a yard. Greg Kuhar with the tackle.
Number 34, Carol Newby on the carry.
And it'll be third down. They need a couple here to keep this drive alive. Armstrong looked solid last week in that win against Minnesota. 3 touchdown passes, 299 yards of total offense. Trying to find that balance, when to stay in the pocket and when to go with it. Completion percentage way up last week. Armstrong will keep. Almost tackled from behind, and Tommy's able to dive out to the 49 for the first down. Dean Lowry couldn't haul him down by the jersey.
Dean Lowry's a very stout defensive end, and they're going to pull the running backs, the backside tight end, try to get the quarterback outside. They got him wrapped up in the backfield, but Armstrong, such a great athlete. Of course, number 35, Janovich, the unsung hero, doing the blocks down the field, never gets the credit he deserves. Blocked the punt earlier, doing a good job.
On the roll, and the catch is made up to the 30-yard line. Jamal Turner, 19 yards, and another first down.
And Northwestern coming in on defense, they wanted to force Armstrong to his left, but this is a designed rollout to the left. Nice play action there, and he gets his feet around and is able to get the target down with the football. Watch him turn his shoulders. That's key. And he throws a gun strike to the wide receiver on the outside. Well done. Good play call. Move the chains.
Out of the eye cross, slammed in the backfield. Dean Lowry, the senior out of Rockford, Illinois. We keep hearing about the job that Baylor's doing. We don't have any playoff right now, the Bears. So schedule an issue for you?
Right now it is. It's early. The big tests are coming. The Oklahomas, the TCUs. I want to see them play those teams, and they start knocking them out and doing the same things they're doing against Iowa State and company. Then I'll definitely switch that around. But until I see it, I can't project them in that situation.
Not buying in yet on the Brazos. 2nd and 16. After the good defensive effort from the Cats. Play action. Looking for Carter, incomplete. Broken up by Van Hoos, who had a bead on that one again.
Van Hoos doing a real nice job out there, leaving the vertical route, watching the quarterback get it down underneath. And again, it looked like the deep route was open, but it was actually his play and his eyes tracking that football to be in position to help out and defending that pass. He's done a nice job. We talked about it earlier. His 40th start today, second team All Big Ten last year, 30 pass defense in his career, a house call last series. He's doing a great job in this football game.
Armstrong rolling to his left. The throw downfield to Westerkamp around the 15, and he's got it for the first down. Big third down conversion here for Nebraska.
And really, that's all Armstrong. He wants to stay in the pocket, and Northwestern does what they want. They roll him to the left. But again, getting his shoulders around, and Westerkamp always finding the holes. Big play receiver down the field. Great job throwing on the run. Hasn't been one of his favorable positions to throw, but right there comes up big again.
Longest play of the day for the offense, 25-yard pickup. Strong with the design run, looking for an opening, and none presents itself. gets back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and goal.
You know, when you talk about seniors or juniors and guys that have played the game a lot, Westerkamp's a guy that when he finds the areas, he's able to find the open spots, gets his hand up, and when he's running, he feels where safeties and corners are, so he gets that proper depth in his route. Complete receiver, smart, and he's an accountable guy, and that's why Armstrong continues to go after him play after play.
On 2nd and goal, Armstrong, patient, delivers, touchdown! Brandon Riley waited for him to clear across the middle and got him for 6.
Offensive line, phenomenal job in protection, which actually gets Armstrong in his eyes.
Plays, 75 yards. They had 3 third-down conversions on that drive to keep it going. The 25-yard pass to Westerkamp, the big one. And Riley with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. The extra point is good. 1:07 to go in the half, and it's now 14-12.
Great job of protection up front. Watch Armstrong. He wants to go to the back to the right, but because of the protection, he takes his eyes off this player and comes back in to Brandon Riley, and Riley just runs the shallow cross route. Again, you want to set your feet and throw him, but his arm's strong enough to get him across the field. But the offensive line, you see the center, the guards, Condola. Again, Armstrong's feet's not perfect, but he's able to salvage it with his strong arm. And Riley running a nice route across the field. But the offensive line, and we haven't talked about, Condolo, Reeves, the center, really good at protecting and making that pocket big for him. So his numbers have improved. 5 for 6, and 2 of those completions of those 5 are rolling to the left. With Catherine, defensive coordinator, said that they wanted to force him to do it. He's done a nice job.
Breaks a tackle. And gets out across the 25. 1:02 to go in the half.
You need a big play in the middle of the field.
Gets away from the pressure and then finds a man. And another first down toss, this to Mike McHugh.
I don't think he got his feet down. He caught it in the air, fell out of bounds. So that's not going to get. Defense does a nice job. Watch, he's in the air. Very smart, knocking him out of bounds on that play. Chris Jones does a nice job. Much maligned defensive backfield for Nebraska, coming up big on that play right there.
So instead, it's 2nd and 10 again from the 40. 5 wides.
Christian Jones right here, trying to attack the middle of the field. He got timeouts if you can get him in the middle.
Thorsen stepping up. Gonna run with it. He's got the first down, and another huge play by the quarterback with his legs. Inside the 15, and he gets out of bounds at the 11 with 8 seconds still on the clock. 49 yards to go along with his 68-yard run earlier.
I'll tell you what, Thorsen is showing his running ability. Great job in the pocket, just having control and awareness. Right here, big chance for Gary. 25 strong safety to make the tackle. Just scoots inside all the way down the field, puts himself in a great situation. Again, 2 timeouts left, 8 seconds. They got a chance here to go into the end zone.
Looking left the whole way, the pass into the end zone, caught initially and then ruled incomplete as Christian Jones did not hang on through the catch, and he had 6.
This has been a common theme the last 2 weeks with Christian Jones. One of their more reliable receivers, but he's had some drops. Remember, folks, you got to catch the ball, come down to the ground, and you have to finish the catch all the way through. As he's rolling through, the ball pops out there late. Tough to see on that angle. We'll see it here. Catches the ball, body rolls, doesn't complete the catch. The problem is how many rolls, or when you consider him down.
Jack Mitchell, a 28-yard attempt. throw. Pressure coming from Nebraska. And Mitchell gets 3 points on the board as time expires. 17-12. Wildcats. A couple of long Clayton Thorsen runs to set up the scores for the offense. Now let's go to Chris Hassel, Butch Davis, and Robert Smith and our Dave and Buster's halftime report.
Coach, your quarterback, Clayton Thorsen, 16 yards through the air, but 106 on the ground. What made you think he could be so successful on the ground?
I didn't. We got guys open, and we're not making shots. We're not protecting well enough, but he's a playmaker, and he's made plays. We said we had to come out here and make some plays, and we did. Needed a touchdown right there. It's too bad we didn't finish the drive.
Where have you been at your best defensively in the first half?
When we got off the field on third down. You know, the last drive was inexcusable. We come underneath and lose contain and make a selfish move. We're too far off in third and long situations. Just not a very good drive, but credit Nebraska. Great job by them.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Go Cats.
17-12. Northwestern on the road with the lead over Nebraska as we get set to start the second half. 2 big plays from Clayton Thorsen and a pick 6. The difference for Northwestern, and it's been a roller coaster ride throughout the season, adjusting to the new offense for Nebraska, and that ride has continued. We've seen some good stuff from Tommy Armstrong, and we've seen some ill-fated decisions as well. Nebraska deferred after winning the toss, so they will receive here to start out this third quarter. So Nebraska will have it at its own 25-yard line. Beth Mullins, Anthony Beck, Paul Carcaterra also with us on this beautiful day here in Lincoln. We talked about the quarterbacks early, and they've been the story here throughout this first half.
Well, we talked about getting the ball to Justin Jackson for Northwestern. Well, the quarterback, Clayton Thorsen, has been the running guy on their side of the football, and he's made some big plays with his legs. And right now, Nebraska's done a great job on defense, except for 2 snaps.
Yeah, we thought that they would be able to run the ball a little bit more, Northwestern, and we thought it would be Jackson, but instead it's been Thorsen. His 2 long running plays for 117 yards. Their other 20 plays just netted 11 yards for the Northwestern offense. They have the lead. And for Tommy Armstrong, it's been an up and down day so far.
Coach Riley talked about the roller coaster, and this is 2 of the plays that were poor. Doesn't set his feet, getting the ball down the field, and when he comes back, you got to understand you can't throw off balance, take the sack instead of compounding it. But then he rolls to his left. Northwestern wanted to do that on defense, and 2 of his best throws came to the left-hand side, and then finding the underneath crosser, which got them the score late in the second quarter, was a big play. Able to bounce back. You got to like that about the kid.
He was over 50% in that first half, and the miscue and the frustration from Jamal Turner unable to hang on. Terrell Newby, 11 rushes for 46 yards. He was their top guy on the ground. They dominated in terms of time of possession. They ran 25 more plays than Northwestern did. But for Mike Riley, he saw his punt around there way too much.
Yeah, he wants to see consistency. They had their best outing on offense last week against Minnesota. He needed to see it go back-to-back in this week. Right now, the offense has struggled, and with the quarterback situation, he's got to get this game moving.
3rd and 13. They need the 47-yard line. Good protection. Armstrong has all day, and he finds Westerkamp inside the 40. And a first down for the Huskers.
Well, when in doubt, go back to Old Faithful, right? Westerkamp again running that corner route in the hole, and it's a zone defense. You see the space open up. Great protection right here from Armstrong. He's able to set his feet, throw it in, and drop it in that hole there. Westerkamp in the right spots, found a nice opening right there for this offense. Moved the chains. That's a big play they needed on a 3rd and long situation.
These 2 have hooked up for their 2 longest plays of the day on 3rd and long. Westerkamp now 4 catches, 75 yards, and Newby, boy, Dean Lowry is making a name for himself up front today for Northwestern, in on another stop.
Right now they can't block him. I mean, he's a force. Strong, big guy. Look at him on the right side here. He just does a great job coming off. Number 94 right here. He's got his hand on the ground. And it's all about, can you beat one-on-one matchup? You see the strength. They try to double team. He tosses the tackle inside that stirrup.
Zach Stirrup.
That's an unbelievable job of just strength and power at the point of attack.
Second 11. Has time. Going deep. Has a man out down. It's incomplete. Through the hands of Brandon Riley. Armstrong can't believe it, and neither could the crowd of nearly 90,000.
They set him up right there for a big play. You'd seen that corner route to Western camp. You see him go dip down inside. Then Brandon Riley comes on top. And when that cornerback comes down to cover Western camp, he comes wide open, throws it right in the breadbasket, isn't able to make the catch. And again, when he finally makes that throw and has a perfect pass, Brandon Riley, who's been a sure-handed receiver for this team, with the big drop.
We've seen both sides unable to hang on to a sure 6 points now today. Off of play action. Here comes Lowry again. Armstrong able to scramble. Caught by Lowry inside the 35. Trying to get down to the 30-yard line. That'll be short of the marker.
Anthony Beck, the sure-handed tight end. I know you don't want to hear any excuses, but for Brandon Riley, the sun right in his eyes. I'm looking directly where that pass came from Tommy Armstrong. I knew you would have caught it, but he didn't.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to hear excuses about the sun. Again, you got to track the ball. It's always tough for a receiver. Yeah, I mean, listen, the sun is shining that way, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to find yourself a location in the football and make that play.
Got a flag down after that play was run.
Sideline interference, 15-yard penalty, Northwestern. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 11:20. 11:20, thank you.
Pat Fitzgerald wondering who did he say, that guy right there, is he with us or not? Is he a Northwestern guy on the sideline? Fitzgerald wants an answer from the line judge there, because this is a 15-yarder and a first down. And Fitzgerald wonders who the guy was that was interfering. First and 10, Nebraska. Trying to cash in on a break here. Armstrong again with good protection. To the end zone he goes, incomplete as he overthrows Morgan.
I'm only about 5 yards from Pat Fitzgerald. He gave the umpire a earful right now. He said it wasn't our sideline. It's right over here, pointing to the fans who are located right next to him. He's still telling him right here.
You can watch the bottom of your screen. Quite sure where the interference takes place. Not too happy about it.
There's that spot where the bench runs out and it turns into fans and photographers and other folks down there. Into the backfield, Drew Smith got to Amani Cross.
The 32 Amani Cross from ball carrier. 55 for Smith. Brings up third down and 12.
The result here, a big stop on that play for a Northwestern. Let's go back.
Yeah, right there on the bottom of your screen. Watch, see the coach and the referee
That is,
right
yep,
there.
That's a Northwestern.
Gets him out of the way on
Yeah.
the right. He's trying to find back into the crowd there. Doesn't want to get in trouble, but you know what? It wasn't one of their Nebraska ball guys. It was a Northwestern coach that stepped out on the line.
Terrific job there by the camera guys to get that. Armstrong, the pass caught down around the 5-yard line. Lane Hovey. And it's first and goal, Huskers.
Just rolling in receivers right now. It's all about ball placement. Runs a slant, comfortable in the pocket. Great job at catching the ball when you're defending. You have a defensive back on your back trying to pull it away. McShepard with tight coverage, but a good job on catching that football.
Camp Pearson L go to the right. Armstrong options left, keeps coming back and scores. Touchdown, Tommy Armstrong, his third TD run of the season. And he's got Nebraska back on top.
Really, that's all Tommy Armstrong there. Great awareness, just watching the flow of the defense. He just finds the end zone on a weak side option play. Dangerous with his legs. forget about him in the running game. Tremendous job on that drive to cap it off.
4-yard run to finish it. They go 15 plays, 75 yards, over 6 minutes taken off the clock. And they are back on top, 19-7. Armstrong able to keep the drive alive.
Coach Fitzgerald not happy about that 15-yard penalty. But when they get down in the red zone, Nebraska needs to finish with the touchdown. Armstrong does a nice job doing it.
Back here in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers have taken the lead over Northwestern. 8:59 to go here in the third. Both teams pretty much needing to win to keep their hopes alive in the Big Ten West. They're already a couple games behind Iowa. Hawkeyes are sitting on a bye this week. And the return for Miles Schuler gets out across the 35 to about the 39-yard line. Just 11 total yards on their other 20 plays. We have hardly seen Justin Jackson at all. Just 4 carries, 4 rushes. And this, the pass caught by the superback Garrett Dickerson. Gain of 14 and a first down. They only had 22 plays in the first half. Only 3 first downs that entire first half. And yet they had the lead. Got some help by the big pick 6 from the defense and Nick Van Hoos. First down. Incomplete. Looking for Miles Schuler. 6 for 14 now on the day. Just 35 yards passing. We talked about how good this run defense is for Nebraska, but Northwestern was hoping to take advantage in the air against the worst pass defense in the country statistically. Hasn't happened.
And Thorsen really hasn't been an accurate quarterback the last couple of weeks, but again, short passing game, his ability to run, something else that Nebraska has to worry about.
Second down, Thorsen has a man inside the 10-yard line, and it's caught at the 8 by Mike McHugh. And it's first and goal, Northwestern, 22 yards on this play.
So he just runs a corner out away from the defender, perfectly thrown ball. I mean, you want to talk about a big-time throw for a young man. Thorsen steps into the pocket, drills it into the outside where only his player can catch it. I'll tell you what, it's a spectacular drive right now for this young man.
Trying to answer the Nebraska touchdown with one of their own.
When they don't have numbers in the box.
Down to 2. This is Jackson trying to get to the edge. Inside the 5, diving down close to the 1-yard line.
See that little surge in weight that he has to get to the outside. Nebraska stacked the box up so they can get outside. They had some receivers blocking. Gets them closer right now on the second down and goal.
Third leading rusher in the league and trying to get it cranked up again. And he is in there as a Wildcat. The direct snap to Jackson. Looking for a seam up the middle. Close to the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Northwestern. Got through a tackle of Josh Banderas and fought his way in from 2 yards out.
Great patience by Jackson on this. Just letting the play develop. It's a blocker outside. It's just the effort. The question is the knee down?
It's going to come back.
Before the ball crosses the plane there, and I think you're right.
It's a further review. The runner's knee was down prior to him breaking the plane of the goal line. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line. It'll be third down and goal.
And if it's not Justin Jackson, it could be the quarterback just reaching over, 6'4", 220 pounds. 2 options for sure that they have. This offensive line has to make its statement on a road. It'll be loud down there in that end zone. They're going to get some push on this defensive line.
Under center on third down. Trying to reach for it. Did not get a good push initially. They did not win the battle against the defensive tackles. Malik Collins keeping them out.
Your best defensive lineman is right over the center, and he basically locks, strong arms him out. Watch 7 right over the center, just shoot through his legs, and that really gets everything disconjointed in the run game. Knocks over Dan Vitale, number 40, the lead blocker. Thorsen tries to bounce it outside. Huge stop for this Nebraska defense.
They will force the field goal attempt here on 4th down. He's been good from 28. Jack Mitchell now from 18. Nailed it. Northwestern goes back on top, 20-19. Cats thought they had 7. They've got to settle for 3. Well, if you've been following the Huskers this year, you've come to expect some close games, and another one shaping up here in Lincoln, 20-19. Each side getting points up on the board with their first possessions of this second half. As Stevenson returns it out to the 24. As they get set to host the Buccaneers tonight. Demone Pearson-L with the catch out across the 35 and a first down. As Armstrong tries to settle things down a little bit here in the second half. He led them down the field for a touchdown the first time they had it.
Came out in the second half more accurate, dropping some balls into Westerkamp, and again spread the ball around, keep this Northwestern defense on their heels.
Out of the backfield to about the 43. Looked like that may develop into something a little bigger, but Drew Smith able to sneak in there to stop it.
This Northwestern defense has been stymied at times. They're in the right spots. They're well coached by defensive coordinator Mike Hankwitz. They're tough players across the board, and they know where to be. And I think that's the biggest thing when you watch this football team. Of course, their head coach being Pat Fitzgerald obviously helps. One of the all-time great linebackers in Northwestern history.
Cross with the carry. Looks like he's got the first down. We talked about Keith Watkins getting the start for Matthew Harris in the secondary. Last week was the first time that happened. In their first 6 games, the defensive unit had the same starting 11 every single week out. So that continuity has helped them as well on this side of the ball.
And next man up, you know, Watkins came in his first start, 9 tackles in that game. You know, that's what you want. Guys can step in and replace star players.
And a first down at the 35-yard line for the Cornhuskers. Back to the turf. Cross. Wiggles his way inside the 30. Crosses the senior out of Gainesville, Georgia. Gives you the good hard yards. That's what Danny Langsdorff told us about Cross. Good hard yards right there.
240 pounds. He's a downhill runner. He's not going to do much as far as in space or catching the football. He's got 23 touchdowns over his career, so he sniffed the end zone quite a bit. He's a change-up back, but first down yards crucial so far this third quarter. Done a nice job, Nebraska, getting those short second downs where you can run or pass in this situation.
Armstrong on the move. They set up the receiver screen. Snuffed out by the DBs. Watkins was there. Third down and 9.
And again, you missed that play on the past 2 plays ago on first down. You lose that yardage. You don't get a big gain on second down. Now you're in third and long again. Armstrong's done well in this area right now. He's got to make a big play. If it's not there, don't compound it. Make a play with your legs if they're covered up.
Over 50% today on third down conversions. On the rollout, Armstrong. Gonna get taken down. Caught by Dean Lowry again. Vadia Denebo was after him. Armstrong could not find anybody downfield. That is exactly what they will do as the third quarter expires. Field goal attempt coming perhaps with a breeze to assist. Nebraska trying to get the lead back when we return for the fourth. So many good memories over the years for the Huskers here at Memorial Stadium. They've actually dropped a couple of nail-biters at home this year, and Starting to shape up like another close one here. Drew Brown on the season, 6 of 8 from over 40 yards. He's trying for 48 right now. For the lead, trying to sneak it inside the right upright, and he does. His second field goal over 40 yards today, and it's a 22-20 lead for Nebraska. Nebraska has dominated with their plays run, their time of possession, but still tight on the scoreboard. They are back on top. The story here in Lincoln, well, if you looked at those bottom 3 numbers in particular, you're thinking blowout. They've had the ball for over a half an hour, have held Northwestern to just 6 first downs, and yet the scoreboard tells a little different story. It is just a 2-point game. Nebraska in front after that field goal by Drew Brown. And as we start out the 4th quarter, Northwestern with the ball. Thorsen throws it across the middle, and it's caught for the first down. Austin Carr with the catch out across the 35 and a gain of 14.
Austin Carr is a sure-handed inside receiver who they dearly missed last week against Iowa. Huge catch for him.
Pull it down, the play action, and then the quick throw. Thorsen out to Vitale. Falls on it, but I think they're going to rule that an incomplete pass. Second down. This week about reestablishing the run. Thorsen has over 100 yards rushing, but Jackson has been quiet. 7 carries for 10 yards. And he will come out.
Nebraska's corners are challenging the wide receivers on the outside.
Throw across the middle. That's a completion to Vitale.
Pass complete to number 40, Dan Vitale.
3rd down and 5. Josh Banderas was there at the tackle. Northwestern will fight for what would only be its 8th first down of the day if they can get it.
Now, Christian Jones, top of the screen on the line of scrimmage, had a rough day. See if they continue confidence with him and give him another shot.
Huskers bringing the rush. Thorsen tipped up in the air by Volt, and it's caught. First down across midfield. 9 yards on that pass play.
Concentration. Well, obviously, Thorsen fires that ball in. Did he have possession? And now,
Justin Jackson.
And I'll go to number 21, Justin Jackson.
45-yard line. Under 11 minutes to go. Both defenses have scored today, including a pick-6 for Northwestern. They have run 35 fewer plays, have had the ball about 1/3 of the time. But Nebraska has had it, and they are on the move here with another first down. More 3rd down conversions, Anthony, on this drive than they had the previous 3 quarters combined.
nice job there. They had a weak side play. All the defensive backs and defensive players are heavy on the right. They come back and get that first down conversion with Jackson's edge.
Tie the motion move. Blitz coming off the edge. Thorsen with time. Vitale with the catch on the run. 10-5. Lunging for the goal line. Touchdown, Northwestern.
Pass complete to number 40, David Vitale. For a Northwestern touchdown.
37 yards. Thorsen to Vitale, the superback. And look at this effort.
Good job. Throw, catch, getting the one-on-one coverage with the linebacker Young. He's only a freshman, true freshman. Get a favorable matchup with your superback senior Dan Vitale.
Our 4th lead change of this second half. Back and forth we go. The PAT. for Jack Mitchell to try and make it a 5-point lead. And it's good. 37 yards, Thorsen to Vitale to cap off the drive. Some critical third down conversions to keep it going.
And you got to find your Superman player, hit your super back. Danny Vitale with great athleticism to get across the end zone. Thorsen is a happy camper.
More passing yardage on that drive, 66 yards for Northwestern than they had the entire game previous. And they are back on top, 27-22. Dan Vitale with the touchdown reception. And the kick through the end zone for the touchback. Pressure coming through Smith. Armstrong able to get away from it. Throws downfield, and it's caught. Tariq Allen on the turn, had nothing but green grass in front of him.
This is disappointing right now because the opportunities that have been left on the field. Armstrong does a tremendous job of getting away from a sack. Puts the ball right in the hands of Allen, and he turns before he catches it.
Nobody back there, Anthony.
You got to catch the football, and you got to help this young man. This quarterback has been doing a great job. That's 5 drops in this game, right in the hands of the wide receivers.
2nd and 10. That one's batted down. Guess who? Dean Lowry.
Beth, the Huskers have ran close to double the amount of plays compared to Northwestern. Pat Fitzgerald said this week they ran out of gas against Iowa and couldn't get off the field. I'll tell you what, I've been monitoring this unit. After the 3-and-out, their last possession, and the long, stretched-out drive by their offense, this group is rested and ready to go.
They're going to need a little extra juice. The defense, Paul, has been out there nearly 35 minutes today. Bringing the heat on the quarterback. Armstrong tries to get it loose, and down he goes in the grasp of Dean Lowry again.
Denaboo came off the edge. Multiple players coming through. Again, good coverage in the back end. Chapman, number 1. There's a Denaboo getting inside. Chapman holding on. Got to wrap up this young man. Armstrong's gotten away from multiple defenders. And Mr. Lowry cleans it up at the end. The senior, the leader on this defense for Northwestern.
Big stop there, and as Paul referenced, the defense jacked up and trying to get off the field with the 3-and-out. And the kick. Schuler, couple of shimmy shakes, gets past the first wave across midfield. And gets out of bounds around the 40-yard line. 27-22, Northwestern with the lead, 8:42 to go. And amazing when you look at the stat sheet, Anthony, everything favoring Nebraska in terms of times of possession, the number of plays they run, but it's been very opportunistic for Northwestern, picking and choosing their moments.
Well, Northwesterners done a nice job just continuing to play football. Talked about a couple tough games last week against Iowa, coming on the road. But to me, the big story is Nebraska's opportunities or missed opportunities in this football game. Drop footballs. Armstrong's done a nice job of throwing the ball and making passes. They just have not completed, and Northwestern is taking advantage right now.
Thorsen feeling confident to Justin Jackson, first down. Stiff arms the defender, knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line. 26 yards on the gain, and now the yardage coming in chunks.
Well, we talked about it. If you can't get them the ball in the run game, find them in the passing game right there. Crossing route, they got a mismatch against a linebacker. Banderas across the middle, an easy throw and catch. And again, accuracy, catchable football, moving the chains down the field.
Action on first down. Dickerson, the pass was behind him and completed the 10. Northwestern, they had 1 yard passing in the first quarter, and now look at the progression, 93 yards in the air here in the 4th.
Look at that. Think about what this Nebraska defense has done, but 4th quarter's been their Achilles heel, especially in the passing game, Beth. They've severely let some big yardage up in each of the 4th quarters of their games this year, especially in the losses.
2nd and 10, Jackson. Nice cutback, finds the hole down to the 10. And Harris took him down high, and it will be 3rd down. The 1st down marker is at the 3.
Nebraska's got to come up with a big stop here. They've done it multiple times on 3rd down throughout this game. Really put in a situation where their offense isn't converting, and they got to make some stops. This Northwestern team right now hasn't really had a lot of steam or good play in the red zone. This is one of their few opportunities where they can take advantage of this right now.
Pressure coming from the Blackshirts. Thorsen's throw is away, incomplete. And it's 4th down, and even if you give up the field goal here, you're still a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying it up. Still with 7.5 minutes to go.
What do you do when you have a redshirt freshman quarterback on defense? You make him speed the process up. And Gary, the 25, strong safety, comes off, forces him to throw the ball early to Vault, who is waiting to come out of his route. Again, good job, good dial-up by defensive coordinator Mark Banker for Nebraska.
Mitchell looking to go 3 for 3. This one a 27-yard attempt. And it's good. 30-22, Northwestern up 8, 7.5 to play here in Lincoln. Only the 2nd FBS team in the last decade to lose 4 games when the opponent won in the final 10 seconds or in overtime. Will they have an opportunity to make a play of their own to win a ball game late? They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just to tie it up, but there's still plenty of time. 7. Keeping it all the way. That's a nice block from Carter, his tight end, to spring him loose out to the 40 and a 1st down.
Weak side option, quarterback redesigned run. Like you said, the big tight end, Ethan Carter, getting that edge blocked up, and huge game, big 1st down run. Again, keeping it in the hands of Armstrong. We're playing a good game today.
yards passing with a touchdown and a pick 6 for Armstrong. He's also rushed it 11 times for 10 yards. All day to throw this, and there's Westerkamp with the sliding catch around the 44-yard line and a 1st down. 17 yards on that toss.
I know this guy's going to catch the football, and I think right now he's a target that they can take advantage of. Pulling him out of the game right now, and he's wanting to get back in, but I'm sure this break isn't going to be long.
Targeted 9 times with 5 catches. Shade under 100 yards on the day for Jordan. Amani Cross is the I-back. Gibson with the tackle.
And out there for 32, Amani Cross.
7 carries, 14 yards.
13, Deontay Gibson.
Westerkamp is back out there.
8 of 40 yards, 2nd down and 6 at the 40-yard line.
Just got to keep your focus as an offensive player for Nebraska. You're moving the ball up and down the field. Got to finish drives, down by 8 right now. Put some things together.
Flush him out of the pocket, make him go to the left, and just throw outfield, incomplete. That was Westerkamp trying to come up with the big play.
Nebraska fortunately didn't get a holding call. It looked like Lowry, number 94, was getting pulled down. Referee doesn't see it. It's amazing how a right-handed quarterback can roll to the left and throw that ball in. Watch the top of the screen. Look at 94. You see the left tackle pulling on his shoulder pad. It's right in front of the referee. I'm surprised he didn't pull a flag on that.
That's Alex Lewis. Now it's 3rd down and 6. Broken up on the near sideline. It's 4th down. Nick Van Hoos got his hand up. Intended for Turner.
That's a tough completion, tight coverage by Van Hoos here on the receiver. Go all the way across the field, and really it's just a good play. No separation by Turner at the wide receiver position, and You know, to me, when you set back the quarterback, maybe get some opportunities to run in some of those lanes. Now they have a big 4th down. Pressure on this offense.
Looking deep down the sideline, and it's hauled in at the 5-yard line. First and goal, Nebraska. Number 87, Brandon Riley, as Armstrong limps up the field.
First off, Armstrong stood in the pocket there, took a low blow on a defensive lineman, falling down to his legs. Gibson coming on the outside rush, and he just drops a dime. I'll tell you what, Brandon Riley redeeming himself on this one right here, tracking the football into his hands off a very good corner. And Van Hoos right here tracks the football, brings it into his body, holds on. Huge conversion for that team.
On first and goal, Carroll Newby stuffed at the line, thrown down by Gibson.
Number 34, Carroll Newby, the Monster.
Second and goal.
You see him get rolled up and gets his foot caught underneath, obviously rolled up with his ankle a little bit. He is a competitor. He's a tough player.
Does that take away any options that you might want to use with him on a rollout?
Well, unfortunately, you're right. That obviously will affect his running ability. But I think right now you got to do what you got to do, and he's a tough kid, and you got to utilize it. It's worked today. Why not?
There he is on the move. Armstrong, even on a bum ankle. Touchdown, Nebraska. With 4:23 to go, do they send out the PAT kicker? You got guys coming in to go for 2.
You got to go for 2 on this one. Heck of a job. I think he answered your question about his ankle. Guys just takes that big hit, gets it around the outside, still limping a little bit, but right now he's in this game. The adrenaline is pulling that pain away from him. As a football player, you're out there and your team needs you. You're not thinking about injuries.
The 2-point conversion for the tie with 4:23 to go.
Make a sprint out to the right. Multiple options here.
Armstrong probing, throwing, incomplete. Northwestern hangs on to the lead. Up 2 with 4:23 to go. Intended for Stanley Morgan.
They definitely tried to get Armstrong out of the pocket. Had the ball in the far hash. Here's the long pass that got him down there. This was on 4th down, folks. Watch him stand in the pocket. Defensive end falls back on his legs, throws the ball up. Brandon Riley, number 87, comes back. Here's the touchdown. Watch this block right there. Newby, great job with the cut. And then the 2-point conversion. They put it on the left hash. Armstrong comes back across, tries to get it in to Morgan, number 8, the wide receiver. Tight coverage by Nebraska. They don't convert, and right now, Beth, down 2, just over 4 minutes left.
You've talked all week, if you're Northwestern, about being a better ball control offense. That hasn't been the case today, but you've got an opportunity for Pat Fitzgerald's club to try and work this clock. Nebraska has its full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. First and 10 from just outside the 25 on the return from Schuler. They're going to throw it on first down. Thorsen stepping up now, tuck and run. And the awkward slide out to the 30, a gain of 5. Always have to be cognizant of where number 7, Malik Collins, is, the defensive tackle for Nebraska.
Good play there. You spread out your wide receivers. You got one back in the backfield. And if you get that open hole, you give him a one-look read on a quick play. If he doesn't have it, he can make some plays with his legs. 2nd and 5. Good position for this offense to be in.
Jackson, their 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. 3rd best rusher in the Big Ten this season. Picks up a few. It's 3rd down. Thorsen dumps it off to his back, Jackson, and he's got the first down, breaks a tackle across midfield. The cutback down to the 40. And once they reset the chains, they'll restart that clock. 28 yards on the pass play.
Nice job by Jackson. He's in a full scan in the backfield. The blitz doesn't come. And look, he's dangerous in the open field. You better wrap around. He's got great moves. Look at the quickness. He hasn't done it in the running game today, Beth, but in the passing game, he's made some big plays for this football team.
Now you got to hold on to that football and make Nebraska burn a couple of their timeouts remaining. Jackson is the offset back. He'll take it. Pat Fitzgerald talked about playing a clean game today. They were hurt by turnovers in their losses to Iowa and to Michigan. They've played a clean game today. They've kept the penalties down today.
You see this play clock right here. You're going to get that way down. If you're on offense for Northwestern, you're going to take your time. Got positive yards on first down. You're going to make sure your personnel is right. Get the right guys in there.
They can take this all the way down close to the 2-minute mark before they snap if they want to. Jackson, big hole up the middle to the 30-yard line. And is that good enough for another first down? It appears to be. Jeff Mogus, Ian Park, Blake Hantz, Matt Frazier, Eric Olson, those guys up front leading the way for Northwestern.
Yeah, Mogus, left guard. Watch him just seal up all the way to the second level. And that was the biggest hole I think Northwestern's had in 4 weeks. I mean, that's fantastic. Look at his hole, folks.
Look at Park, too, with a push.
Our sideline reporter, Paul Carcaterra, could get up in that hole. That's how big it was. Huge play for Northwestern there. You move the chains, you get a fresh set of downs. I'll tell you what, that was big. They went against him.
Northwestern will force Nebraska's hand. They'll keep it on the ground, and then they're going to tack on.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 7. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
That's their second unsportsmanlike penalty of this half.
Yeah, you can't have it. And this is a selfish play. You got to know the situation. Finishing that block a little bit. Right there, you got to walk away, folks. I know it's a tough man's game. When you got referees right here, everybody sees it. Northwestern, the smarter team right now in that situation, luring Collins on that flag.
Can Nebraska make a play? Thorsen on the rollout, and he would just slide down.
We're going to feel this one out after this timeout.
It's been a roller coaster ride at times for Northwestern and their fans. You know, they've had several seasons. They start out 4-0, 5-0, and then a decline in the second half of the year. But then they also pop off big wins like Notre Dame last year. And now on the road in a hostile environment coming off of 2 poor performances. They did indeed turn frustration into motivation as their coach wanted them to.
You're right, and you look at Tommy Armstrong now, you got a feel for this young man. Made some big plays with his arm, and they weren't able to pull in some of those big passes. Dropped a short touchdown pass early in the game. 5 drops, really crucial drops, Beth, in this football game that were the difference. This offense did a lot of things up and down the field, but again, Northwestern, give them credit for withstanding all that and making plays.
Take the knee there, and the game clock in front of the play clock, and they will not need to snap it again. And the emotion from Pat Fitzgerald. 30 fewer plays, the time of possession 18 minutes longer. Nebraska had it than Northwestern did, but it will not matter on the scoreboard. Another tough loss for the Husker fans to swallow, and Northwestern becomes bowl eligible with its 6th win of the season. College football continues on ESPN2, but first, Chris Hassel, Butch Davis, and Robert Smith in the studio. 30-28, the final in Lincoln.